Hello, everybody, and good Sunday to you guys. Um, I'm back. Okay, alrighty. I first want to start this off by saying that I hope everyone has left behind. So let me stop saying the y'all. But I hope everybody left behind some good days while I've been gone, and I hope even more that you have even better days approaching, right, in the weeks to come. All right. I'm just gonna get this short message out, y'all. I just had to jot this down real quick. It wasn't going to be the initial message for Sunday. There's some other messages that I should have put out weeks ago, actually. And I'll tell y'all all about that later. So this may be a two-parter. If not, I'll just get this one out today, and I'll get y'all the other one out sometime during the week, okay? Alrighty. Okay, first I want to start this off by talking about something that I used to hear a lot as a child, like especially when I went to church and all that stuff like that. And I used to always hear them say there's no big sin or no little sin, because sin is sin, right? So no matter which way you look at it, sin is sin, right? Then I thought about the fact that one of my nephews had actually made a rap video one time where he talked about the seven deadly sins, right? So let's talk about that for a minute, right? Let's talk about what is said to be the seven deadly sins, right? Okay, we have lust, we have gluttony, we have sloth, we have wrath, we have envy, and we have pride, right? So what I'm asking y'all to do today is just take the time out, just out of those, just that seven, if you have any of them that you may have been experiencing, just pick out of those seven for right now, right? Okay, and you know, matter of fact, I wouldn't ask y'all to do anything that I wouldn't do first myself. So, because I'm going to talk about myself a little bit first, I had to look at myself first and say, what have I been experiencing out of those seven deadly sins, right? And I've been experiencing what I'm going to call gluttonism and slothism. I don't know if that's a word, but if not, it is today, right? And let me just say that there are many forms of sin, because like we mentioned in the beginning, that sin is sin, right? There's no big sin and there's no little sin. And that's why we have to take the time out sometimes to stop and look over ourselves first in order to begin to work on what we need to change, right? As an individual, we need to look at ourselves first on what we need to change, right? Okay, because at the end of the day, when it's so much going on out here in this world today, um, when it comes to sin, it's like so many things happening in this world today, so much evil, right? And at the end of the day, it's a lot of people, what I would say, that's out here putting in work for the devil, right? And you know, the wages of sin is death, right? Without even knowing that the wages of sin is death. And I'm not talking about death falls in the physical. So, in other words, I prefer to be gifted eternal life over having my wages be death. Like, who wants to work for the devil and your pay is death, right? So, we got to think about that, right? I don't want those type of wages, and I'm sure none of my people out here listening do too. I'd rather volunteer my services somewhere to do something good for somebody before I get those kind of wages, right? Okay, let's keep moving. Let's see, it's been a little minute, y'all, so I'm a little raggedy. Um, yeah, so at the end of the day, we should know by now to sow good seeds, because what you sow, we all know you will reap, right? So make sure you plant good seeds, because at the end of the day, that's how you're going to receive your good harvest, right? Your crop's going to grow. It's going to be plentiful and abundantly, fulfilling. We can say it like that. And just know that when you're making these changes, y'all, the devil gonna do things to try to put all kind of obstacles in your way, right? He gonna try to do all kind of things to put obstacles in your way. But in that moment, you don't want to give up, right? Because I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story, right quick, right? Back in 2003, we had Hurricane Isabel, and we had actually bought a house. My family had got a house, and we was probably into it maybe about a year, right? And Hurricane Isabel came through, and I tell you, I had just even planted a bunch of mums and all kind of stuff. It made it real beautiful outside. Me and my mother, that's one of the things that we did. She wanted to help me do it, so we got out there together and we planted a bunch of mums and things like that. It looked so nice with the little white rocks, and it just looked really nice. Anyway, and doing that, next thing we all got the news that Hurricane Isabel was coming. I don't know how many of y'all remember that, but Hurricane Isabel was coming. Now, we purchased it. We had got this home, but not knowing that there was, at the very end of the block, it led into a big body of water, right? So, I got home from work and everything, and I figured I'd make some food. I prepared a little stuff, and I stayed up all night long because we had a big tree in the front yard, and I just thought that, that's the thing that I needed to watch out for because I'm like, I don't want this tree to fall on the house. You know what I'm saying? So I was really just like watching that all night long while the hurricane was coming through. And while I was watching that, I had laid everybody's shoes out and put everything where if we had to leave out fast and quick and in a hurry, it would be easy to snatch and grab and get the kids out the door, right? So, okay, while I'm looking at this tree, I see a man walking up the middle of the street. But he has a flashlight and he has fisherman boots on. And he's walking up the middle of the street. But when he shines flashlight down, I'm like, what in the world? You can see the water is almost up to where you can't even barely see the fishing boots. It's almost up the top, almost to how high the fishing boots go to the thigh, right? And I open the door and he yells and he says, I don't know, what I'm letting everybody know now. And if you want your vehicles, you need to move them and you need to move them right now because the water coming up and it's coming up fast. Okay, now although the water was that high in the middle of the street, it hadn't reached the front door entrance. It was like, we say we had a little curb thing, the little porch thing that you step up on right before you come into the house. It was right at the neck and neck with that. It hadn't came over that part yet, right? So okay, I go and I leave and I run and tell my family like, hey, get up, everybody, get up, get your stuff on. And I'm like, okay, how's the water that high? The how's the water was? You would think the water would have entered into the house, but it didn't. But then all of a sudden, I hear like a big gushing noise, like gushing, like you never, like like you near the Amazon River. I don't know, like water flowing from a waterfall, like you never heard before in your life. And I run around to the back door of the back entrance of the house, and I see the water just gushing in like a raging river. So we gotta really move fast. It's already to the point where it has started covering our feet and everything. It's just gushing in from the back door of the house. And it was something that you would never expect. You would clearly expect it was going to come in through the front door. But nevertheless, what I'm telling y'all is sometimes when you're making changes in your life, the devil is going to try to put all kind of obstacles in the path that he think you're going to, if you're trying to pursue your purpose or anything like that, he's going to try to put all kind of obstacles in your path and to elude you from doing your life purpose. But when he does this, sometimes I'm just telling y'all by that story I just told y'all, is sometimes we had to learn how to backdoor the devil, right? We had to sneak around the corner and back coming through the back way where he never see you coming, right? We got to sometimes backdoor the devil to let him know that he's not going to stop us from doing what we have been instructed to do. Okay? So I just wanted to tell you all that. And, whatever you feel like you need to change in your life today, begin working on that and make those changes. Okay? This is not the message that it was supposed to be. It's just something that I just wanted to get on here saying this. So it may be a two-part. And this is just for Sunday messages. Like I said, this is not something that I don't know if I'll be doing it here and there or whatever, how it does. But I just felt the need to get on here and do this today, which I'm sure I might have to do it over because it's all over the place. But if I don't, this is your message, part one of it for the day. If I don't get back on, remember that part two will be on another day. Okay? All righty. Bye-bye. And I miss y'all and love y'all too. Okay? Y'all already know that. Okay, bye-bye. Have a good day.